Hey, did you hear? America is going to have a new president pretty soon. Now, regardless of whether you're a Trump fan or a Trump foe, I think the one thing that can unite America in this time of crisis is some nice, politically neutral fun facts about the man who will soon be the 45th president of the United States. Oh boy. Politically neutral fun fact number 1. This should probably be pretty obvious, but Donald Trump will be the richest president in American history. Even if Donald Trump is not as rich as he says he is, the most conservative estimates of his wealth still place him higher than John F. Kennedy, who was previously the richest president in American history. According to a group called 24/7 Wall Street, John F. Kennedy's net worth during his presidency was estimated at $1 billion. Although this was in part based on an inheritance he never got since he died before his rich father. Trump, by contrast, according to Forbes magazine, is worth an estimated $3.7 billion. That actually makes him richer than all the other presidents combined. Fact number 2. Trump is the only US president to have never worked as a government employee. Every single former US president has either been a former senator, a former congressman, a former governor, a former vice president, a former cabinet secretary, or a former soldier, who are, of course, government employees as well. Now, there have been many times in US history where a major party nominee had never worked for the government, so it was perhaps inevitable that there would eventually be a president with no public sector experience. But still, Trump is the first one to actually break the combo. Number 3. Donald Trump will be the oldest president in US history. Well, technically he will be the oldest first-term president. Whether or not he winds up the oldest president ever will depend if he wins re-election. See, Ronald Reagan was 69 when he was sworn in, and he served an 8-year term, so he was 77 years old when he left office. Donald Trump will be 70 when he's sworn in, so he will have to serve a full 2 terms in order to beat Reagan's record. Number 4. Most divorces. Once again, the previous record holder here was Ronald Reagan, who was divorced once, which is exactly half as many divorces as President Trump has had. Speaking of wives, Trump will also be the first president to have an immigrant wife since John Quincy Adams, whose wife was born in England. And even then, her whole situation was kind of weird since she was born to an American father, which would have made her a Ted Cruz-style US citizen from birth if the United States had existed in those days, which it did not. Number 5. Most recent immigrant heritage. Now, speaking of immigrants, this one is pretty interesting. Donald Trump's family has spent less time in the United States than the family of any president in over 100 years. Like President Obama, Donald Trump had one parent who was born outside of the United States. In his case, his mother, McCullough, who was born in Scotland in 1912. But unlike President Obama, Donald Trump's other parent was also a first-generation American. Donald Trump's father, Frederick Trump, was born in 1905 to an immigrant from Germany. So in other words, all 4 of Trump's grandparents were born outside of the United States. The last president to have that many immigrant family members was Woodrow Wilson, who also had an immigrant parent and 4 immigrant grandparents. Ironic, hypocritical, or just a weird coincidence? You be the judge. And also, you be the person who tells me if I've missed any other interesting presidential trivia about Donald Trump. All I ask is that you try to keep it politically neutral. And yes, I am very naive.